Hey everyone, welcome to Princess Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to episode 7 of Hell's Paradise. Yeah, we're getting to another episode even though we just did one yesterday. I'm sorry, I'm just invested. Ever since I reacted to episode 6 yesterday, it's been digging into my skull to get to the next one. With the way the last episode left off, with the really fucking creepy girls and everything making out with the peach and everything in their mouths, it's just been like, I need to see what's going to happen next. And not for the reason you think. It's not for horny reasons, because as I stated last time, I'm actually more scared of these girls than I am turned on by them. And don't get me wrong, they're very hot, they're very attractive, like, it's meant to be sexually stimulating. Their introduction is literally that one of them taking a bite out of the juiciest fucking peach in existence, and then sharing that via excessively sexual making out with the other girl, while both of them are practically naked, their tits touching. It's like, of course it's meant to be sexual, but it's also delivered in a way and shown in a way that is excessively creepy and unnerving. Because, again, as I stated last time, they're not supposed to be there. There's not supposed to be anyone there in terms of people besides the prisoners and their assignment monitors. No one else should be there. So the fact that they are is unnerving in and of itself, but then also the way they turned and looked at the brothers, it's like, oh no, that's fucking terrifying. Something is really off. And the vibes that it was giving me with how that was presented, especially with the fact that the two girls were on top of one of these man-made Buddhist slash Taoist statues, is just like, yeah, they give me very, very evil vibes. I don't like them. And that's a good thing. Like, it's a very positive fear. Because it's exciting, it's interesting, it's investing. And I want to see more of that. That's what I'm hoping. That's why I'm hoping that my predictions about them being utterly evil are true. I'm fine with them, like, tricking the brothers or trying to trick the brothers into thinking that they're good or whatnot, like a manipulation tactic, sort of like what Yuzuriha employs. But them actually being evil, it's like they've gotta be. They've gotta be. Everything is just telling us that. The music, the way the visuals were done, they've just gotta be. So yeah, we're going to be watching another episode, seeing how all of that goes down, seeing what continues to happen with our main group now that they've found a village. It's just, I'm curious. I'm very, very curious. Because these are the first non-demon-like creatures we've seen on this island outside of, again, the visitors. And corpses that have turned into flowers don't count. Because those were also sent by the shogunates and everything before. So yeah, it's like there's a lot of questions. And Venom, you were joking in the comments on yesterday's episode, saying like, oh, wouldn't you be upset if you got interrupted while making out and stuff? And it's like, sure. But that's very clearly not the vibes that was going for. I'm sorry, but that is not the vibes that was going for. Either way, I'm excited to see where this goes. We're into the second half of the season. Another season is already confirmed to be happening. Probably won't happen until, I'd say, the winter 2024 season. So January. I don't see it happening in the fall season. I think that's too soon since its announcement. But yeah, either winter or next winter, winter 2024 or spring 2024. That's my guess. But either way, let's just get this going and see what this episode has in store for us. So, when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. Okay, so we got some big info this time, and I'm not going to remember all the names, so bear with me on things here. But we find out a lot from Groot about how things work on this island. And we find out that the elixir of life is truly there, but it's not a fruit like they were told. And I guess the shogunate wouldn't really know. But at the same time, it's like maybe they did know somehow. Maybe because the chief of Iwagakure is immortal. Maybe they do know, and maybe. But why would they send them on on a wild goose chase if they want the elixir? Unless this was all just to get rid of the prisoners and the Asaimon, but why would they do that? I don't know. It just seems like maybe there's something more going on with this that we're not quite privy to. Like from the shogunates, I mean. But we find out who these two ladies at the end of the last episode making out were. They are two of the Tensen. And we don't know everything about them, but they're referred to as the most important beings on the island. And that they command the Joshin. Or Soshin? Let me make sure on that real quick. It's Soshin or Joshin, something like that. I have to find where Groot mentions it. Hold on. I found the right area, but Soshin. Okay. I'm trying to get the names down. So, the Tensen control the Soshin. The Soshin are, I guess, the other demonic creatures. I wouldn't say mindless ones, but the ones who are just, like, creatures, you know? The ones that aren't human-like. While the Tensen seem to be able to change their form at will, the blonde Tensen changed from a girl to a guy. And so that's really interesting, and I assume they can go the other way as well, which would, be wonderful to be able to change your body your physical features like that. It would be absolutely wonderful. I want titties, okay? I don't know if they go according to pronouns in terms of like what form they're in or not. And while like one form might be masculine and the other feminine, I can't say for sure if that's the case. It's sometimes hard to tell with anime and everything, because a lot of anime can be pretty restricted in that sense, but there are some that aren't. So until I see anything else that kind of proves otherwise, I'm going to use they them pronouns for the Tensen. Um, we also have May, who is a little girl who might be connected to the Tensen, but it's unclear. She looks like she would be, but it's unclear. But she is referred to as a little girl, so I'll use that. Um, but both the both sides of this, the girl in Groot and then the Tensen on the other side, are immortal. And not only can they not die naturally, they are functionally immortal too. They can't be killed. Their body will just regrow. We see this on both sides. We see the blonde Tensen have half of their body like sliced diagonally off, and then it just regrows like a plant, or I guess like a Namekian. No, not like a Namekian. Namekians, it just kind of pops right back out, and I think that's mostly just with the limbs, right? Either way, it just grows back, and we see the same thing happen with Groot. He tears off his arm and it grows back. I presume that May is the same way, but we don't know for sure. But outside of learning about the Tensen who control this island and defend it against quote unquote invaders, and that they control the Soshin, we also learned about the island having 3 sections. It's like, okay, we're in Attack on Titan again. But it has 3 sections to it. They're not like walled off or heavily separated in that same way. But there's 3 different sections. There's the outer ring of the island, the secondary ring, which they're in currently, which has the village and whatnot. And then there's the central ring. The central ring is what contains the elixir of life, which we find out is created from the corpses of everyone who has died here. Everyone who has died here and turned into flowers, their life force is turned into the elixir of life. All right, go sip on that corpse juice. It's like, that's pleasant. But outside of just the big lore drop that this episode has, like, there's also some like cute moments and stuff, like getting to like meet May and Sagari helping her clean her hair and everything is really cute. Sagari also relaxing after she gets into the bath is great. Just all of that washing off of her. It's like, I've been there. I've been there for sure. Even just taking a shower, even though I don't take baths much anymore, even just getting into the shower after like a long day can be really refreshing. Even if you don't really like need one, sometimes it's just for the relaxation of it all, the hot water pouring over you and all. But we see just Gabimaru struggle to kind of understand standard etiquette and everything, simply because, again, of the way he was raised. Like he like when they walk in on May in the bath and everything, and it's like he just continues walking. It's like, all right, whatever, because he doesn't understand. Because in the Iwagakure, they never thought about that. It didn't matter about age or gender or anything. They just all bathed together for efficiency. So it's literally something he does not understand and he's trying to get used to. But also, a lot of fan service in this episode. There just is. Like, obviously, there's the pretty standard fan service, the pretty benign stuff, showing Yuzuriha and Sagari in the bath and all. It's not like anything bad or whatnot, but it's not like the best use of fan service. We have Gabimaru being shown practically naked, and it's like, that's some good fan service. Listen, I'm allowed to be horny every now and again, okay? And Gabimaru's pretty hot. He's not the hottest anime character out there, but he's pretty hot. I can get into him. Plus, I also really like him as a character. I like his personality, even if he tries to hide it a lot of the times. He's an absolute sweetheart. He just he has to learn to accept that about himself because he's so rigid in the way he was trained up. But in reality, he's actually super sweet and nice and kind, and again, just the way he loves on his wife and everything is like it's. I just love it. I just love him. I really love him. It's one of those rare occasions where the main character is actually my favorite character. So far, at least. In a lot of anime I watch, and a lot of shows I watch in general, it's almost never the case where the main character is my favorite. Like One Piece. Luffy, I love Luffy, but he's not my favorite character. I like characters like Robin and Yamato and Kiku more than him. You have Ruby. My favorite character is not Ruby. It's Weiss. And after her is Yang. And then you also have Nora. It's like Salem, even. You have the Owl House. My favorite character wasn't Luz, it was Amity. And you get the point. In a lot of shows I watch, I'd even say most shows, my favorite character is not the main character, even if I do like the main character. And a lot of the time I do. So it's actually kind of refreshing to see an anime where the main character is just genuinely my favorite character. And it's not like I don't like the others. I like Sagiri. I'm mixed on Yuzuriha, if I'm being completely honest. But there's a lot of the other characters I like. I mentioned that I like the Sanka girl. I can't remember her name right now. And I like her Asaimon as well. And just various other members of this group here and everything that we've met throughout. I've liked, even though some of them are dead now. And even with liking them, it's not like I can like them if they're like bad guys too. You got to remember. The Tensen are interesting to me so far, but I don't know enough about them to say whether or not I like them or not. Even in this episode, like with the follow-up, we see them practically kill the brothers. Like, the brothers could survive. We didn't actually see them die for sure. But they're in a giant pit with a bunch of corpses and stuff, and it's very likely they're dead. Could they be alive? Yeah. Well, I mean, they're technically alive last we left with them, but could they remain alive? Yes, but I think it's unlikely. I think it's also more impactful, the first meeting with these Tensen people, who, again, supposedly the most important people on this island, for them to kill two characters who were kind of built up. These brothers were kind of given some notable attention. But also, that's also why I could see them surviving here. So I don't know. It's hard to say. But with them as well, like when they were in their feminine forms, I'm gonna say, and that's how I'm gonna that's how I'm gonna refer to it. Their feminine and masculine forms. When they were in their feminine forms, they also had no detail, and I don't know if that was again something based on censorship or just how they are. Like, was it just a censorship thing that they had no nipples and whatnot, or they just not have nipples? It's hard to say, because I've seen some anime where they censor it in the normal release, so that it's like, oh, you'll see tits, but you won't see nipples or anything on them. There's no definition, so it's not safe for work. But then in the Blu-ray releases and whatnot, they add that in, so that there's full nipple showing and everything. I don't know what the case is here, because these are inhuman creatures. I don't know if they're supposed to have nipples or not. It's hard to say what the intent is for this, if it's censorship or just how they are. But I'm extremely jealous of them. Anytime I see a character in an anime or a show or a video game or whatever that can change their physical form in any way that they wish, I get excessively jealous. Because that is, in my opinion, the superpower I would want the most. Physical transformation like that. And I make it very clear, I feel, that it's because of being trans. And because of my body dysphoria and everything. Like, I mentioned before, it's like, I want tits. And I'm not just saying that as a joke or just to be funny or anything. I'm serious. As a trans girl, it's like, I want breasts. It's one of the big things I would want, but I would have to get on, like, hormone replacement therapy or have some kind of, like, surgery. And I don't have the money and the availability to do that, unfortunately. I have, like, breast form, like these fake breast forms that I can wear with a bra, but it's not the same, you know? And I'm fat, so there's something here, but there's a difference between, like the breasts that I want to help with my body dysphoria and just what I have. You know what I mean? So it's like seeing these characters being able to, like, change their bodies at will and everything is just extremely, it just makes me extremely jealous and sad. The only thing that keeps me from, like, getting really depressed about it is also the fact that they're hot as hell no matter what form they're in. It weirdly enough helps the fact that these characters are, like, and canonically hot too. Like, Groot was talking about that, like, they are canonically beautiful. That is very much, like, not just for us as viewers. Within their world, within their canon, these two and any others are seen as absolutely beautiful. And it's like, I can't argue. And that helps me keep up my spirits a bit, though, to not get too down in the dumps about how jealous I feel over it. Which helps a lot, it does, but I'm still jealous because, and this happens anytime I see something like this, and again, anime, cartoons, video games, whatever. It's just, it's something that just, it's a personal body dysphoria thing for me. It's like, believe me, if I could have, like, Ivankov's devil fruit in One Piece, like, Jesus, I would take that in a heartbeat. Or just, you know, meet someone who had that and could do that for me. But enough about the depression. Let's just close this out. This was a really good episode, really informative episode. Brought in some more characters from the opening that we had questions about seeing and everything. Finally, see Groot and everything. Yeah. Definitely getting exciting in this second half. Can't wait to see where it goes. But in the meantime, tell me in the comments below, what did you think of this episode of Hell's Paradise? And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.